Hello, my name is Jeanette Orozco. For my major applied research project, I will be talking about the flipped classroom teaching model. In this presentation, I will first describe a traditional classroom and what it looks like. Then I will move on to describing what a flipped classroom looks like and what it is and what it isn't. After introducing what a flipped classroom is, I will explain the benefits and disadvantages of a flipped classroom. Lastly, I'm going to provide you with some tips on how you can begin flipping your classroom. So the traditional classroom teaching method. What is this? This is that old-fashioned teaching method where the instructor stands in front of the classroom and just talks. No, really. The lesson is presented in the classroom by the teacher. As a teacher is lecturing, the students listen and take notes. There is little to no engagement in these lessons, and the teachers are not interacting much with the students. After the teacher lectures, the students are given a limited amount of time to apply the material that they were just taught. The students are then assigned homework and are required to demonstrate their understanding of the content that they learned in class. So now that I have already introduced and discussed what a traditional teaching classroom looks like, traditional teaching model, I'm going to introduce to you a more modern way of teaching, which is the flipped classroom. So in a flipped classroom, the direct teaching is assigned for homework. The lecture is shared outside of the class through a video. So in some type of online tool. So for example, a teacher will download a video of herself explaining how to solve one variable equations on YouTube, and the students are to watch the video for homework. After that, the next day when the students come into class, the students use the class time to practice applying key concepts by receiving feedback from their teacher and also from other peers in their class. The class time is then devoted to applied learning activities and more high-ordered thinking. Teachers can then use the classroom time to monitor as the students work in a collaborative group. As the students collaborate, the students will receive support from the teachers and other peers. So what isn't a flipped classroom? The flipped classroom is not an online course. The students are watching the lectures online, however, they are applying their learning in the classroom. It is also not replacing teachers with videos. Instead, it is allowing the teachers to be able to work on the content with the student as they apply their skills in the classroom. Students are not working in isolation or without structure. Instead, the teacher is allowed to have more structured class time because the students are working at their own pace. The students will not be working in isolation because they are now given the time to collaborate with other peers and with the teacher, which they were not able to do before. Instead, before they would work more in isolation because they would show what they learned on their own during homework time. Lastly, the students are not spending their entire class time staring at a computer. Instead, they are using the class time for practicing key concepts and receiving feedback so that they can master the curriculum that they have recently been taught online. The flipped classroom has many benefits. It benefits the students, it benefits the teachers, and it benefits the parents. For the students are able to learn at their own pace. If they are on activity 1.2, they don't have to move on to 1.3 or 1.4 when they still haven't mastered 1.2. And for those students that are learning fast, they are able to continue and move on to the next unit without having to wait for the other students that are a little behind. The students are also in control of their own learning. They are able to watch, pause, and rewatch the lessons as many times as they want, wherever they want. They are also tend to be less frustrated since the homework portion is being done in the classroom where they have the access to a teacher where they can receive immediate answers to their questions. It also promotes collaboration. For the teachers can use the in-class time to support students in better understanding the concepts. They are also able to differentiate instruction. Parents also benefit from the flipped classroom because they can actually access the lectures and actually be able to help their students. Many parents tend to feel like they are not able to support their child as much because they aren't in the classroom and they aren't able to see what they're learning. In this case, the parents are able to see what they are learning and actually learn with them so that they can help their child. Unfortunately, there are disadvantages that come in play with having a flipped classroom. One of the disadvantages is that the teacher needs to trust that the students are watching the lectures before coming into the classroom. If the students are not watching the lectures, they're going to come into the classroom and the class time is going to be unsuccessful and ineffective. Another issue with having a flipped classroom model is that the students need to have access to the internet. This is a big problem, especially because there are a lot of students, especially in low-income areas, that do not have access to the internet at home. Also, when the flipped classroom is first implemented in the classroom, it adds an extra workload on the teachers. So not only do they have to present these lessons to these students, they have to record themselves doing it, and they have to download it onto a YouTube or TeacherTube or whatever your online tool, and they also have to edit it. So at first, it is going to be a lot of work for a teacher. It can also negatively affect a student's learning process because lessons are presented through a screen and not face-to-face. Here are some tips on how you can start implementing the flipped classroom model with your students. If you do not have time to create your own lessons, you can begin by incorporating mini lessons by using videos that are already created by other educators. These videos can be found on YouTube, TeacherTube, Khan Academy, and many other online tools. Once you do decide to record your own lessons, I recommend that you use Camtasia or Screenomatic to create your videos. These videos are good for creating tutorial-like lessons. So where you can record your computer screen and record yourself at the same time, just like what I'm doing now. Right now I have a PowerPoint and then I'm able to record myself at the same time as I am viewing the PowerPoint. Also, do not make the lessons too long. The longer the videos, the less engaged the students will be. Here's a reference list with the various texts and articles that I used to create my major applied research project on the flipped classroom teaching model. Once again, my name is Jeanette Orozco, and thank you for watching.